Fine with me.
I'm
What's up,
trying to
guys?
find. Okay, go ahead.
What's up, guys? Luki here for another episode of this show. Y'all, I'm about to be 30 years old. Did you realize that, Slow Mo?
Yeah, you're old.
I'm going to be 30 years old. All of my ageist jokes, they're catching up. They're gonna catch up to me. You
There's a
know,
reckoning
they've
coming.
they've they've caught up with me. I've been waiting since I was 23 for y'all to get your licks in. You know what I'm saying? Like not the, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The
I've been.
strange way of
It's the slang. It's the slang that the young ones use these days. It's the
yeah,
culture.
yeah, I heard that term went back when I was a kid. It ain't the slang.
Oh,
That's
okay.
yeah.
So what did it mean back when in your olden day?
I mean, it meant punching somebody, but it can be taken in so many different ways, and yeah, bad Luca, bad Luca.
Oh man, I'm just putting the tweet out like I'm here with the crew talking about something. Anyway, I'm about to be 30 years old. Dirty 30, baby. Dirty 30. How
Is that is that what they call it?
No, I just started calling it that for fun. How old do you think I look for real?
Let's see here. 16.
16?
Yeah.
So here's the thing I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm not gonna lie, Slomo. So I work someplace where I interact with, well, not interact, but like there's a lot of young people around, right?
Yeah.
One of my biggest fears is a fucking teenager approaching me and trying to talk to me.
Oh man, I dealt
One
with
of
that
my
today.
biggest fears. I'm like, I'm literally 15 years older than you. I'm at that point, guys. I'm on Twitter because like I
And
do
they can't
follow.
tell. That's the funny
They can't
part.
tell.
They
I
they
follow. They
they're
can't
not
tell.
even trying to
Like
go
they're not even
for
right.
a cougar. They're just
They
didn't
just can't tell.
realize that
They're
you
like,
weren't the
oh,
same grade as
well, I
them.
thought you were the same. I actually thought you were a fucking freshman. I'm a fucking high. I'm a sophomore in high school. Like that is my biggest fear. I was walking behind some teenagers yesterday, and there was this guy. He was on the wrong. He wasn't where he was supposed to be. One of the teens made a little jokey joke about it. I giggled. I was like, they looked back at me and were just like, oh, and I was just like, nope. And I skedaddled. Fucking daddled. I'm like, mm-mm. No, ma'am, it's just not going to be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to be on Predator watch. You know what I mean? And I'm also at that point.
Right.
I follow Gen Zers on Twitter. The things I hear them say, like, why are
They're a
you,
hot
wait,
mess.
wait, why are you 30 years old on social media? I'm just like, oh God, that's about to be me. That's about to be me.
Hey,
I'm not in my, I'm not going to be in my 20s anymore. I'm not going
nope.
to be in my 20s anymore. I'm going to be in my fucking
It's
30s.
like my
Me.
generation created social media.
I
You
mean,
freaking tadpole! Like the wild thing is earlier today. Like so, I'm at the mall because my son is getting into baseball, so I'm buying his baseball equipment at a sport goods place. Then I was like, you want to go to the food court? You want to get some ice cream? He was like, yeah. So me and my son, he's 13, and we're at the little like Baskin Robbins or whatever, and like on the way there, I kept seeing like this group of girls they were like loud, how like it's the
yeah,
mall, people
they're
are loud.
super loud. Okay.
So I'm just kind of just standing there. I'm waiting for the girl that works at Baskin Robbins to be done with someone else. To the corner of my eye, I see them like walking up towards me. I look over. One of them looks directly at me, grabs her titties, and just starts shaking them.
You're like, miss, young lady,
And I just turned
young
away because I
lady.
was like,
And you're like, mm-mm, it's not about to be
nah,
me.
I'm
It's
not,
not
no,
about to be
not
me.
doing it,
Okay?
not,
I'm not
not
about to
doing it.
get Chris Hansen by some fucking teeny boppers. It's not happening, man.
Hell no.
Hell
And then,
fucking no.
and then my son, I look at my son who saw it and was just like eyes bugged out of his head, and I was just like, we tell mommy nothing about this,
Exactly.
and he's like, okay, I know he's gonna tell her eventually. And
Yeah.
then it's gonna be like, oh, so you got young girls just shaking titties in front of your face
You're just
now.
like, it's what do they say, baby boos? Black don't crack. You know what I'm saying? Black is definitely not cracking in my case.
Right.
I'm never going to look anything except for like this. I'm gonna be my mother. My mother has looked the same way since she was 20. She's 50. I'm not aging. Okay, so
Tell your moms I said what's up.
you're married, so no.
I'm just saying.
She's also older than you, sir. You're too young for her, sir.
I'm just saying. To tell her. Hope she's having a good weekend.
She's having a fantastic one. But yeah, so babes, dirty fucking 30 here. But not only that, it is speaking of babes, it is Stone's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Shout out to her. How much does it suck to have a birthday on fucking April Fool's Day?
Yeah, because like
I would hate
I'm pretty
that.
sure every time she says it's my birthday, people are like, April Fools, you're joking, right? And it's like, no, it's really my birthday. And that's gotta suck. That's gotta be up there with like having your birthday on Christmas.
My grandma's birthday is a day after Christmas, dude. It's tough. But okay, let's get into this. What's up, Spencer? Spider-Man, Samurai Black was goody. Iman, what's up, Sycamore? What's up, Cassie? I know, Cassie. Dirty 30, babes. Spidey, what's up, Phil? What's up, Leaky, Breesky? What's up, Dr. Eldon Tyrell Rosen saying I'm 57, kid needs to get a grip on reality. You are right. You are right, sir. Phil says I used to have 15-year-olds coming to me. I started keeping my facial hair ever since then. What's up, Sinister saying I'm 39 on that next level up. Oh God, it's about to be that time, my boy. Dennis is like, dang, y'all are making me feel old. Like, listen, I'm just saying, what's a butch? Like, a lot of you guys met me when I was 23. 23. I used to, when I was 23 years old, I said, I better not still be on this goddamn fucking application when I'm 40 or when I'm 30. I said, I better not be on this goddamn fucking Twitter app when I am 30 years old. It has been 7 fucking years. I'm still here. So anyway, we can just move on from that. But yes, Dirty 30 on Monday, guys. April 3rd, Aries baby. Aries gang, you already know what's up. And let's go ahead and get into it. So E3 is officially canceled. Oh, Singer and Slum are here as always. But E3 is officially canceled. It's donezo. It's over. You know what's crazy? This was actually like the first year that I actually considered going. I was like, maybe I'll go to E3. Maybe I'll go to E3 this year. Well, I'm not going to E3 this year because there is no E3. Sony pulled out, Nintendo pulled out, Microsoft pulled out, then fucking Ubisoft, I think, and then like who else? Who else pulled out?
Tencent and Sega.
Like it was just like it's over. I mean, it was over.
Everybody pulled out.
As soon as Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft said we're not going, I was like, E3 is over. It's over. It's donezo. It's finito. It's finished. And you know what's crazy? Years ago, when Sony initially was just like, I'm not going to E3, I remember saying, I said, Sony does not need E3. PlayStation does not need E3. PlayStation can hold events on their own and people will watch. People will watch through live streaming. You know, they haven't done a PlayStation experience since like All Day went like forever ago, right? But like, I was like, Sony doesn't need E3. Now, people like we had this huge debate on Scumcast, and people were just like, "That's not true, Luca. Luca. You don't know what you're talking about, Luca." And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And guess what? This is one of the few times where the Lucanator. I say the Lucanator because Zalker was the one arguing, saying that Sony doesn't need E3. It's one of the few times the Lucanator was correcto. I was correcto mundo, okay? So they've all pulled out because honestly speaking, E3's fucking expensive for them. It's expensive for them. So they're just like, we can do our own events through our own time, and then we get shows throughout the year. Now, E3, I'm going to be honest with you, especially the last few years, has been trash. It's been trash. It's been boring. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Fucking Gen Xers and boomers are like, oh, we're going to put on these goofy ass fucking events. We're going to act like goofballs on the fucking stage. You know what I'm saying? We're going to ride around on our little scooters to show off. You remember that Slow-Mo? When it wasn't Ubisoft, and it was some kind of fucking. Do you remember that?
The pandas and the tigers.
Yeah, that was Ubisoft. Yeah.
When the dance number.
I was just like, and when that guy accidentally like drove his tricycle into the podium. That
Yeah,
was
and
embarrassing.
yeah,
When the
face
fucking
first.
people from Bethesda were like, "I hope you're not a mimic." I was just like, "Oh god, kill me." Like literally kill me. It was just
The
so
worst joke.
awful. You
Like
know?
like devs are good at making games, not telling jokes in a public forum.
Exactly. Like,
So just don't ever do that again.
keep that shit to your fucking self, okay? So yeah, but E3's dead, and honestly speaking, I don't care. You know, I don't care. I was never the type to go to E3, so I feel like the only people who are really genuinely upset about this are people who would actually take the time to fly out to California, to meet with people, to have fun, to play these games, to just like have the entire E3 experience. I'm sure it was, but I was always of the mind where I was like, I'd rather stay home and watch this shit from the comfort of my bed, and I could turn it off or turn to something else if it's boring as fuck, you know? But I wanted to
Mhm.
go this year because I was like, maybe, I mean, why not? You know, I've been in this community for decades, basically. Oh, it's almost been a decade. My stomach hurts. I've been in this community for 7 years. So why not? Right. But no, it's over. So it's donezo's. I mean, what do you guys think about E3 no longer being a thing?
E3 was. I mean, it was fun because it was good because all the game news was compacted. 2 weeks. These 2 weeks, everything was revealed, and you're like, okay, cool. Now we know what's coming up. Whereas if you compare it to Jeff's nut goblin mouth, champion the death of E3, whereas something like that, it's like, oh, each conference is spread over 6 months, so now we have to wait 2 months in between getting news about someone else's show, and it's annoying. And for me, I wanted to go, but it's the price. So for me to fly to LA and back, two-way ticket in June cost me 1,500, right? 1,500. Or I could go to Gamescom in Germany, which is basically the same thing without all the theatrics. All the games and stuff are playable,
But
and there's
bigger.
and then there's more people. 500.
Without the really overproduced conferences that all the big publishers do.
Yep.
Gamescom doesn't have that, but they do have the games. You're right about that.
Yep. So I pay 1,500. That's just flights. Then hotel, we're looking at 2,000 all in. To Gamescom in Germany, 600 all in. I'm like, well, that's why I was like, maybe I go to E3 this year. I was like, nah, I'll just pack my bags and go to Germany to go to Gamescom. So that's the plan. But I mean, it was the inevitable end when Sony pulled out. You know, everyone was like, yeah, this is kind of spooky. And then Nintendo was doing its own thing. Microsoft was having this whole shit in a completely different venue. And then the inevitable end happened. And then the panorama hit. Obviously, that would have affected a bunch of years. No one could go there. Um, so yeah, that was basically the death nail of E3 was the panorama, and they just couldn't recover. And it's a shame. I'll never get to go to E3, but at least I still have Gamescom, so I got something to look forward to. What about you, Slomo?
I kind of, I mean, I think we all kind of saw this coming, but I remember back, like, I'm probably the first time, back when I first became a panel member of BRAP, we had this conversation, and I was like, I don't even know why they really spend all the money. It was right around the time the ESA got exposed for being really toxic and having a whole bunch of raw. This is like even before they exposed all the game media. They doxed all the games media by accident, but actually on purpose because they didn't get hacked. They just literally just put all their information on their website like a bunch of dummies. But um, I was just like, when I found out that like Sony and Nintendo and PlayStation, all of them have to spend millions of dollars just to say they're going to be only just to put E3 in the title of your conference. You have to spend millions of dollars just to be associated with it. And I'm just like, for what? You're the draw. E3 is nothing without them. So it's like once the first one, you gotta give it really the props has to go to Nintendo because Nintendo is the first one to be like, yeah, this ain't for me, and we don't really need you guys. And with the way this digital age is, what's the purpose of spending millions of dollars to be associated with E3? Forcing all your developers to make sure they got all their content ready by June. Then also having some overproduced live show pageantry. Remember the one time when like Nintendo, like PlayStation had like dancers coming down from the ceiling or some crap, and it was just like what do you? Why like flute guys out there playing
Shout
a
out to
flute?
Flute Guy.
Yeah, shout out to flute guy. I hope he's doing great today. I hope he's booking a lot of acts because there ain't nothing else coming up from E3 ever again, right? But it's like, why spend all your money on all that and you can just do a all digital pre-recorded stream that there's no gonna be no flubs, no mistakes. If
In
Phil,
theory.
in theory, right? If Phil Spencer goes out there and he accidentally says something he didn't mean to say, it's not like, oh well, he can't take it back. Nope, just do the take again because this is pre-recorded. And you're going to get the same number of people seeing it that would have saw it at your quote unquote E3 show. So it's just really, why waste your money? And I know there's some people that are just like, well, I want to do the experience. I want to see other people. I want to get together with people in the community. I want to see devs and their games. I want to play games that aren't out yet. You still have all those opportunities. PAX East, PAX West. You still got all those opportunities to do all that stuff. So go do those things.
I was always of the
B3's
mind that
over.
if you weren't close enough with somebody to meet them out like literally any other time than E3, then what was the point? But I don't know, it would have been
Yeah.
fun to be like, I'd be like, oh yeah, didn't you call me a cunt that one time on Twitter? What's up? Like, how's it going? You know, like we could just sort it out. Like we could have a conversation. Like I'm clearly I'm not going to do anything. I'm 4'11", but still, like
you might stab him in the kneecap. That'd be pretty painful.
Yeah.
I would have to stab pretty hard for the kneecap to go through the bone, right? Unless I stab from the side, I could stab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely from the side.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then when they're down, just cut that Achilles tendon, and
Exactly.
and they're going to be your height forever.
Exactly. So, like, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm not. Listen, I don't care. Honestly speaking, the only thing, the E3 is fun for like as a podcaster and like going on people. Like I listen. When I say I used to be on everyone's fucking podcast as a guest, like it was bad, guys. Like I podcasted
What were you
myself out.
thinking?
Now I know you're not speaking, but anyway, I used to be on everyone's show as a guest. And then eventually over the years, I was like, I can't be talking about the same shit over and over and over again, man. I can't do it. But for E3 week, I would always show up on people's podcasts like, what's up? It's me. I know it's been about 6 years since I've been on your show, but what's goody? I'll be like, hey dealer, let me go on for that Xbox show. He's like, say less. You know what I'm saying? I go on Mooch's show. Like I'd go on Crap Show back when he had a show. Like, I'd have a ball with it. But now it's just like, oh well. But like again, one of my favorite E3s was E3 2018 when me and Hardhead were arguing with Slow Mo. That was a good about whether or not Bethesda or Ubisoft were better. Guess what? They're
Oh
both
my,
they
we're
were both ended up
both
being
terrible. We were just like,
trash.
what's better, this bird shit or this dog shit? It's
Literally
the
though,
bird.
so
Like, I mean, clearly,
it
like
just
it was.
like because over the years it just got worse and worse, and it's just like, but like think about it like this: we won't have any flops that is like with Anthem, where the devs are like, oh shit, what game is this? Because they had to get
That game
something
is fire. Yo,
what game is that? Like,
EA making stuff like this?
Mhm.
That's my game? No, that can't be my game. Yeah, it's your game. And the sad thing is that they even changed the title of the game right before the show, and they didn't tell the devs that. That's what really kind of threw them off. They was like, that look kind of like my game, but our game ain't called Anthem, so that can't be our game. No, your game's called Anthem now.
It's
We
like,
made that decision like 2 seconds ago. It's
yeah,
crazy, man. Yeah.
So what else happened during E? Yeah, and then I don't know. I remember there was a lot of E3 shows where I would say those early days of Scumcast with E3, that was a lot of fun. But as the years went on, I was like, no, E3 was trash. Like, it was
best
just trash,
E3s were. Oh, what's one of the good ones? Oh yeah, when Sony did that whole traveling between tent things.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
that was
pretty
a
bad.
Oh,
That was
disaster.
pretty bad.
that was like, what the
people
hell are
there
you
were
doing?
so mad. I was like, multiple people said they had like got there super early so they could be in the front, only for them to switch the room. And because the exit was in the back, when they went to the second room, they were in the back for it. They were just like, nah, fam, this ain't it. This is not it.
And then when Phil came out on stage and said, "We got 50 games," and it was all these things, it's like,
And he was
Yeah.
counting all the games that were in the montage where they showed
Yeah.
like a millisecond of a
I know.
game.
It
I
was
was
so
like,
bad. It was
Phil,
so bad, dude.
Phil,
You know,
come
one of
on,
my
Phil.
favorite liars, Phil Spencer.
All these games will be coming out in the next 12 months.
Yeah, but you
Poor
know,
Sarah.
it is what it is. Like, I am not. I don't care, honestly speaking. It's whatever to me. Like, whatever. So we'll see. I know. Apparently, Jeff was like, it's my time to shine. The Game Awards has also had a bit of a decline over the last couple of years. Because I used to be like, no, the Game Awards, man, that's that
Whoa,
shit.
no, the Game Awards their numbers are up big time.
I'm talking about decline is in my interest.
Oh, your interest. Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could see it because it's getting more and more commercialized. Like,
Mhm.
it's now just one giant commercial, and the award. Okay, the one or two big awards they actually announce, but half the awards they just give away as throwaways. I mean, I don't blame her because she does a fantastic job, but she gets landed with all the throwaway awards. I can't remember her name.
The girl that works for, does she work for No, she doesn't work for IGN. Does she work
No.
for IGN?
She
Dude, who
does.
cares what her name is? Who
Yeah,
cares? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
either
that
way,
yeah,
really
she
whatever.
she does a fantastic job, but she gets all the throwaway awards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does like 5 awards in 20 seconds, and
Easy
then
money, baby. Easy money. You know what I'm
And then
saying?
Jeff comes on screen, and he's like, "Oh, we have a fantastic show," and it's like, "Okay, who wants to bet how many Fortnite ads?
No, like
And
literally though.
how
Like
many Game
I'm not
Pass
mad.
ads are
Listen,
going to be in this?"
I'm not mad at him. Like he's doing what he's got to do, baby boo. I get it, but it's just like, man,
no,
I don't
I'm
know.
mad at his Summer Games Fest. It's Summer
The
Snooze
yes.
Fest is what it is. That's the worst show of the
True, Summer
entire
Snooze Fest. That's facts.
freaking year. Yes, Dennis, thank you, Sydney Goodman. Yeah, that's her name.
Yes.
But yes, Summer Snooze Fest is the worst. I don't know. Like last year, he brought out people. All they had was concept art. Why are you here? All you have is concept art of your game. Make that a Twitter post and get up the heck out of here. Why are you wasting my time? And it's so long. I'm like, you have nothing. You literally, like last year, all he had was The Last of Us part 1 on his show. That's all he had. And concept art for factions. Everything else was just like, bro, why are we looking at this?
Thing he knows what he's doing though, because like, remember the year when he had Elden Ring at the end of his show? The rest of it was hot garbage.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
he knew everyone's gonna sit here and put up with this crap because at the end you get your Elden Ring.
yeah,
It's like,
musical acts and everything. And like he's got all his favorite 90 bands coming out. It's just like, Jeff, come on, man.
Shout out to Green Day.
And look,
Shout
you
out
got,
to Green Day. That was
right.
peak middle and high school, man.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And
I'm about to be 30. Oh god.
All I'm saying is like he got to step his game up. He got you got no competition.
Mhm.
So like anything that was going to be a E3 related thing, you now have the opportunity to put that in your show. So I don't want to see any more concept art. Agree, Phil. No more dev diaries. No more 10-minute conversations with some developer, and they're not even showing the game they talking about. That's just like I'm falling asleep.
No,
And
literally
I'm
though.
just like,
No,
come on, man.
and then honestly speaking, Phil is right with this. Shout out to the phrase "wait for E3" with the Xbox fans. Oh, let me tell you something. My first 3 years here. Okay. Anyway, we can just move on from that.
Now was wait for insert next year. Like that was it's wait for 2024.
I mean, I don't even hear people saying that. So I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. Uh, oh, people in the chat, the community tab for topics is up. Like, if you want to go add a topic real quick before the show's over, just I'm just letting you know it's there. But yeah, so it is what it is. Rest in peace to E3, babes. The 1 year I considered going, it just wasn't meant to be. I guess y'all are just not meant to meet me. All right. So anyway, The Last of Us remakes buggy, disgusting PC port. First of all,
How dare you?
Naughty Dog has the fucking
I'm
audacity.
not that ugly.
The audacity to talk about how they're like, we want to integrate PC into our ecosystem. We're gonna release more games on PC, and then they decide to put this buggy ass port on PC. Now, PlayStation guys, like, they're cracking jokes. They're saying tee hee 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 ah ha ha whatever, right? But at the end of the day, releasing buggy games is not okay, regardless of where it's going. So, like, we are consumers at the end of the day. We're still spending our hard-earned money. I do not like this phrase that gamers are entitled. If you're spending your money, you're not fucking entitled. You're
You're
a
not
consumer.
entitled to get what
Yep.
you asked for. This is
Like,
not
exactly.
entitlement. Like anyone
Exactly.
saying that is just shilling for a corporation.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Like if you're saying someone's entitled because they expected the game to be playable on their PC or just playable, period. Because it's not, because like that term comes up not just when it comes to like this situation, but like previously games that came out
Like, you're so entitled. Like, okay, I'm sorry.
like when people was mad that some of the games that came out last year didn't have a performance mode on consoles. You're so entitled. You guys didn't want performance modes 3 years ago because the hardware couldn't do it 3 years ago. Shut up.
You say the cardware.
The cardware. Yes, the cardware.
Yeah, the hardware.
The hardware. Yeah, the hardware couldn't do performance modes like that in 2019. So it can now. So shut up. Like stop calling people entitled because they actually expected, they have actual expectations. And yeah, but no, this sport's not good. It's a very
It's
very unoptimized game.
I've seen now. Okay, I'm gonna get into it because I've seen a lot of people. So there's multiple different views I've seen. There's the people who are saying, yes, it failed. Hooray, congratulations. Maybe this will show Sony that
No.
not to do PC
I
ports.
know. Shout out to Porter Rock.
I was sat there a second. I was like, other people as well. And I was like, these are the same people that said, I want to support the devs. So why would you be cheering a failure if you want to support the devs? That doesn't make sense. This is supporting the devs. So there's one. Then second, people blaming Iron Galaxy. No, you blame Sony and Naughty Dog. This is their game. This is Naughty Dog's game. This is on Naughty Dog. They should have looked at the game. Does it meet our quality expectations? Yes or no? Release it. And then, but then they come out afterwards and say, oh, yeah, we'll release some fixes. And it's like, oh, so your precious Naughty Dog didn't do their quality checks on, arguably one of your biggest games. The Last of Us is one of Sony's biggest games. And then, so I do put some of the blame on our Galaxy, but a lot of blame goes on Naughty Dog. So please don't pretend none of it's to do with Naughty Dog. It is completely in that direction.
Yeah, because there's people who are like, well, it was Iron Galaxy, it's still their fucking IP. Like, what are you talking about? Like, clearly there should be quality control there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I need y'all to start being serious.
And I don't know what Iron Galaxy did with this port, if they gave guidance or something, but if that's the case, if Naughty Dog
Guiding
went
them
to
off the
Iron
cliff.
Galaxy for guidance, that's like, I mean, that's like someone going to a kindergartner to help them get their taxes done. It's just like you don't go to Iron Galaxy for help. They need help. They need somebody to tutor them because every port they do is trash.
Shall I talk?
So like why like them even partnering with them was just bad to begin with. Like
Again,
two companies that don't know what they're doing when it comes to porting games to PC.
like, again, it'd be one thing, if it was just, like, a throwaway, like, "Yeah, we'll just put it on PC," but they did, like, this huge, long-ass fucking blog post talking about how p they're integrating PC with their shit, man. Like, they want the PC crowd, they want the PC market. You're not gonna win the crowd by releasing garbage. Like, the PC boys are not like the console boys, okay? They will refund your shit expeditiously, and
Mhm.
they won't make excuses for it, and they won't be like, "Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay because it's" no, they're gonna be like, "Mm-mm. Take this shit back, man."
Yeah. I played it today. I There has been 3 patches for it since it came out, and it's been out less than a week. So that's, already it shows how bad the launch version was, and also shows their commitment to trying to get it right. So I mean, that's good, at least, right? Some bright side there. But the long time it takes to get your shaders to compile now, and like, to compare this to a normal circumstance, when I played Hogwarts Legacy for the first time, when they compiled shaders, it took like 3 minutes. I think the longest I've seen shaders compile was Horizon Zero Dawn. That took 10 minutes, like back when it like first came out. And other times when that happens on PC games, I'm looking at like 2 minutes. I was talking to Luca earlier today, and I was like, I can't remember where I told you it was at. I was like, I'm compiling shaders. It's at like, it was at like 7% after like 8 minutes, and she was laughing. Look,
Listen,
you're like, yeah.
like, he texted me at 10:48, alright? Talking about this goddamn it's been 8 minutes, Luca. I'm just like, "Alright." He texts me again. Well, I text him back at like 11:20 something, and I'm just like, "What? Oh, okay, that's funny." He's like, "No, bitch, it's still fucking loading.
It was still going.
It's still loading." I'm just like, "What? It's
It
been
was
like
at like
30 minutes."
84%. It was like 84% at that point. And then it just went from 84% to done out of nowhere. But like, yeah, it took 43 total minutes for my shaders to compile. And let's see, it is very, very VRAM and CPU dependent, CPU bound. There is essentially, if you have a CPU that is older than 2 years, you're going to have like hitching issues. Like I found a workaround but this is again after like 3 patches. But essentially, I am now limiting my frame rate to 80 frames per second, and it sticks solid at 80 frames. Like before then, when I had it uncapped, I was over 100 for the majority of the time. It's just that it's also maxing out my CPU, which is not like an super old CPU or anything. It's a i7 9700K, but like maxing out my CPU for the entire time, so that like it's bottlenecking and then causing issue. Even though the frame rate's really high, the experience isn't smooth, and so I just limited the frame rate down so that it was doing less, and now it's pretty smooth now. That said, uh the profile picture I got right now, that should not be something that anyone ever sees for a game that came out in 2023.
It's
Like,
I
come to
mean, isn't that
forget,
with like the lowest settings or whatever?
Yeah.
it is, but still, like I think it's also running on like a Steam Deck or something.
The thing,
But but like Neil Druckmann was out here like, hey, we got that Steam Deck on deck, and it's like your Steam
You're
Deck
like, "No, you
version.
don't,
No,
man."
you don't. Like, what are you talking about? You clearly had never played it on Steam Deck, Neil, when you sent that tweet. Because if you did, you'd have been like, you know, blow the horn, stop the train. This is a disaster. We need this. We need a delay again. And they literally was supposed to come out earlier this month, and then they delayed it a few weeks. They should have just delayed this into April.
the thing is, they didn't want to because they wanted to capitalize off the show's success.
Well, you get what you got.
And then, shout out to the people that try to think that this increases, the demands. The best April Fool's joke me and Slow-Mo came across about what you need to run PlayStation games on PC. And I'm like, well, most of these games coming to PC are from PS4, right? We've only had one PS5 only game, and that's Returnal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So most of these games are PS4 games.
And Returnal was a great port.
Now I know for a fact you don't need a 4090 to run PS4 games, right? Like that is a factual statement. So I mean, they just need to, if they want to delve into the PC space, they need to make sure Nixis is on deck. Like, don't use anyone else. Just Nixis will just have to, plod along and try and get it done. Because I have a feeling they have to use Iron Galaxy because there's not many other porting studios available to them, so they have to use what they can get. But the way Naughty Dog released this, if they claim, if the rumors are true, factions would come out on PC. I don't think it'd be a fun experience because they clearly don't know how to optimize for PC.
Well, hopefully this is a learning experience for them. That they'll take the lessons they learned from getting like probably their worst Metacritic score ever on this game on their port for PC. In addition to all the slander and laughs and memes that are coming out of it, and this will allow factions to launch in a better state because they would have learned what not to do. It's kind of like not exactly a guaranteed thing, but there is potentially there are people who are presenting things that are saying that they may have developed this wrong with DX12. Instead of just having it on DX12, they actually have it on DX11 and it's emulating the DX12, which for this kind of like visually impactful game, Microsoft actually recommends you don't do that. So for them to do that, something that Microsoft, who made the API, says don't do, that would be a pretty stupid thing to do. But that's what Square Enix did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. And that's also what CD Projekt Red did with the Witcher 3 update. So some of these devs out here just still doing stupid things for no reason, but hopefully that's not what they did. But regardless, like hopefully this is a learning experience for them. I did real quick.
Okay.
One that's just for those out there who are like, who are trying to create this revisionist history as if like all the ports for the PlayStation first party games are bad on PC. Let's go through the history of that. So we got Days Gone, which launched better on PC than it did on PlayStation. We got Spider-Man Remastered, which launched great, as well as Miles Morales. God of War was impeccable, above reproach. It was awesome on PC. So was Returnal. Sackboy did have a little bit. Sackboy and Uncharted were the only, I would say, ones that had like a little bit of issues, but they were fixed within a day or two. But they play amazing in Uncharted. Even though they didn't really do anything extra with the Uncharted collection, I can still play it at a higher frame rate than your PS5 can imagine. So yeah, so just kind of put things into perspective.
Did you miss Horizon?
Well, Horizon wasn't great at launch, so I didn't bring that one up. So that literally, that's only out of all their games, there have been 2 games that they've ported to PC that have been bad at launch: Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us. That's it. There are other games that have been good.
They don't need to make this a habit. They need to stamp this out. Otherwise, they'll get a reputation.
Yeah, you don't want
then
that.
PC players won't fuck with you on PC.
Right.
Steam won't. You'll always get mixed or below positive reviews on your thing. People just start skipping your game regardless. Like, you just don't want to be known as that guy. So, I mean, they need to just make sure Nexus is helping and doing what they can. And before you release a game on PC, make sure it's actually working. So, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Autumn with the little sticker. What's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing, boo? How you doing, little sis?
Autumn in the house.
I'm about to be big sis Luca to more people than just Geekhead and Autumn. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to be 30 years old. Okay. I'm taking I'm taking on like a mentor role. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
I mean, like how soon are you about to be 30?
2 days.
Really? Is
I
this
turned
soon?
I turned 30 on Monday.
Really? I didn't know it was that soon. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't remember. I feel like your birthday was like a month ago or something. I don't know.
You good, buddy?
No, I'm not.
Clearly not. Like, yeah, you know. Yes, dirty. Exactly, Erodimus. Dirty fucking 30. That's what I'm fucking talking about. All right. Anyway, we can just
You're gonna
move on
wake
from
up on Monday and like your entire body is just gonna be aching.
my body aches when I wake up anyway. Like,
See, well,
regardless, I've been feeling sick all fucking day, dude. Exactly, Gregor. Exactly. Dirty fucking 30. I'm about to be the Ashen Mentor. I already have a couple people looking up to me, man. Looking to me for wisdom.
toddlers.
I'm sorry, what?
You said never mind.
I heard what you fucking said, motherfucker. I heard what you said. Okay, I just wanted to know if you'd repeat yourself. Anyway, we just move on from that. So anyway, Dirty 30, I've been told that I shall experience nirvana in my 30s. That because you know yourself better in your 30s, it's not as traumatizing as your 20s are. Because let me tell you, my 20s were pretty traumatizing. So like let's hope for the best. I just dropped something. Let's hope for the best. You know what I'm saying?
I would say when you get in your 30s, the lessons that you should have learned in your 20s, they either gonna make or break you. I see some 30-year-olds out there that made some really stupid decisions, and you just be like, "Yo, you still doing this?" And they ain't with us no more because you don't really get them passes when you're 36 and you doing stupid stuff. But no, I think this would be the decade where you just start just looking at things that ways you used to react to things and things you used to do and be like, nah, I already did that before. I'm good. And
Yeah,
just
the only thing I noticed since hitting 30s is more grays in my beard. Like, I was looking at my beard and I was like, more gray hairs? Oh, we doing this, are we? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna keep them. It's gonna feature, you know.
Yeah.
I can't look young with a gray beard, so I kind of shave mine, and then I kind of just keep
I'm
the
keeping
goatee.
them. I'm gonna have that salt and pepper looker. You know,
Go
the salt
ahead
and
and
pepper.
My goatee is still salt and pepper, but like if I did the full beard, I mean, it's just like people kind of look at me like, "How
Hey, it's
old are you?"
Santa.
No, they can't tell how old I am. They're just like looking at me like, are you young or like with gray hair or what?" Like I'm just, yeah, I just keep it all short.
what's up, King Metro?
Yeah, you can look at your beard. A mirror. But yeah, no. It's. I mean, it's fun. You know, it's the 30s. Welcome,
Dirty
Luca.
fucking 30s. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome. You know.
All right. So let's see here. What else happened this week? All right, Singer, go ahead and talk about this Congress thing, dude.
What?
Wait,
Wait,
what?
Oh,
the Congress thing.
Congress having an issue with Sony.
Oh, this thing. I
Yeah.
don't think anything will cover it, but it's actually kind of hilarious that
We actually asking the British guy about our Congress.
Yeah, I'm asking because it has to do with Xbox. So I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you know about our Congress?
well, I mean, Americans have been speaking about the CMA for the past fucking 3 months.
What do you know about
and you're
our
in
Congress?
America. People have been speaking about the CMA where I live for like the past 3 fucking months.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
Like,
you know what?
Exactly.
It's fine. You know, it's fine because
his
politicians are politicians everywhere. They just as corrupt here as they are in England and China and freaking Russia. So go ahead, man. Just go ahead and talk about the Congress.
All right. So it's hilarious that they tried to brought up that Sony isn't exactly playing fair in Japan, and they're trying to put pressure on the Japanese trade thing. I can't remember what it's called. And I just find it hilarious.
The Japanese FTC.
That's the one.
The JFTC.
Yeah, just the JF. Yeah. either way, these guys, funny. Nothing will come of it because it's just kind of one of those things. Some people lobbying in Congress, and some people have been pointing out that the certain people who brought it to the attention, they may have donations from Microsoft. I mean, who's surprised? Who's surprised?
They do have donate. They do have. So see, here in America, Singer, politicians get elected not because they actually had like a good platform, or that people even knew who the heck they were. It's because like
promises, baby.
Yeah, you have to make promises to big business.
So
in order
exactly
to
like
even,
over here. Okay.
Yeah. So like you
Cool.
can't even, unless you're stupid rich, you can't even afford to run a campaign because it's too expensive without having some company back you. And then once they back you, like it's kind of like a quid pro quo, a little give and take here. Like we get you into office and you get to do whatever the heck you're doing, you ain't supposed to be doing there. And, whenever it comes up that we want something done, you would either vote for or vote against whatever we tell you to. And that's exactly what they do. And then they got, there's lobbyists. I don't know if you guys got lobbyists, but whenever they need some money, needs to exchange hands, it's illegal for them to just give a politician money. So they just give it to their nonprofit organization that's supposed to be there to fight cancer, but instead it's just a piggy bank for these politicians. So that's kind of how it works. A good number of these congressmen, I don't know, you guys knew, are actually from the state of Washington, which is also where Microsoft headquarters is. So yeah, it's look, Microsoft was like, hey,
of course, as they should.
How do you like your office?
I love corruption. Big fan.
My favorite thing is watching American news, because I absolutely the game show that is American politics is absolutely fucking hilarious. Like when everyone lost their minds when Trump got elected and everything, and I was just flicking through like CNN and all these people, and they are like, the world's ending, and I'm just sat over here like, yo, this is hilarious. This is the best reality TV ever. Just watch American news channels.
Yeah,
but like,
and Boris Johnson was just.
So the plight of our country is funny to you?
I'm just saying Boris Johnson
plight
was
of our
also your
country
prime
is funny
minister,
to you,
who's
sir?
like the British version of Trump, but like, yeah.
No, it's obviously, Boris is our version, and rightfully.
Sir, focus on your own country's issues, okay?
Oh, I know about my country's issues. Trust me, I am all too keen and aware of what's going on.
I particularly loved when you guys didn't think Brexit was going to happen and y'all voted for Brexit, and then when it happened, y'all was like, "Oh man, I voted for it, but I didn't think it was going to pass." And I was just like, "Well, why did you vote for it?" It was just,
okay. Hey man, but that's a whole
he's like, it's not about
thing
that,
as
man.
Well. I mean, like if you want to see how impressive our country is, in 1 year we went through 3 different prime ministers, 4 different chancellors. I mean, it's fantastic, right? Everyone loves politics. But
listen, I'm gonna make this clear. All right, this is not a dig at you, Singer, or anything like that. What I particularly cannot stand are other countries speaking on America when it's like, or other people in other countries speaking on America when it's like, you guys don't actually know anything. You don't live here. You see what's on television, which is highly dramatized when it comes to a lot of things. Like, it's difficult to trust what you see in the news because they are skewing things in one way or another. So and I say that because I don't speak on other countries' politics, because it's like, at the end of the day, I don't fucking live in that country, so I don't know for sure what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, for me, anytime, it's like, I'll give an example. This is like a not completely related example, but slightly related. This dude was doing like an interview on the street, and he was asking these 2 British chicks. He was all like, do you think, like, who do you think is smarter, Americans or Britons? And the black chick in the video was like, well, clearly us, because black Americans don't even know where they're come from. And I'm just like, sorry, he said Americans. He didn't say anything about black people. Why are you bringing black people into this? And you're talking about, well, black people, black Americans don't even know where they come from. So clearly, we're smarter. It's just like, there's no correlation between intelligence and like slavery. You
Yeah,
just
and
stupid
her
bitch.
logic makes
Like,
no sense. Black people are 13% of the American population. So what about the other 87%? Are
no,
they
she was like, "No, let me focus on the Negroes." But,
right? And he embarrassed her. I remember that video. It was
rightfully
great.
so, as he should.
Yeah,
It's just like, dude, you guys, these people fucking speak from ignorance and slow. It's again, so I try not to speak on other people or other countries and their politics and what goes on over there because I have no fucking clue.
yeah, yeah.
So
But Sigurd, you guys aren't as bad as like the Australians. Yeah,
No, but like
Australians
e-
are.
even like
Shout out to
obviously
Australia. Yeah.
you observed other countries like the amount of shit talking I hear people say about like other countries, and it's like, okay, yeah, you don't know. It's like we know certain things, but like obviously you don't. But you watch to obviously what's happening in America right now. I wouldn't know. Only what the news tell me because I don't live there. But it's you can keep tabs of this is happening. Oh, a hurricane hit Florida again, which seems to happen every single year. And then you're like, okay, cool. And then you keep pushing. But the difference between the American news
Bless.
and what?
Bless is like, yeah, Slow-mo, I'm in from fucking Australia. What's up, man? Like, thanks, Slow.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I find it more enjoyable watching the news in America because they make it more entertainment showbiz more so than the news over here, which is just one person sat in front of a teleprompter, just this
No, yeah,
happened
I
today.
I
This
hear
happened.
you on that for sure. But shout out to Alcoholic Gamer saying Pink Whitney and Berry Lemonade Sunkissed. Enjoy. It sounds delicioso. The reason I said that, Slow-mo, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Unless it's California, New York, Chicago, which I mean Illinois, right? Texas or Florida. I don't know where all the other states are because all the other states are fucking irrelevant. Okay? You're not one of the big states, baby. Like you're not part of the crew, you know? You're not part of the A team. So I don't know where you are because you're not important. People are like, Luca, where's Michigan? Who knows? Luca, where's Wisconsin? Who knows? They're right next to us, but still, you know what I'm saying? So
Oh
that's why
my
I said
god!
that. What?
Wow, that is so
Where's
bad.
Iowa? Right next to us. It is actually.
Oh my
Indiana? Who
gosh.
cares? All that matters is Illinois, technically Chicago, New York. Okay. I can throw in some
The
fucking
whole
Maryland in
state of
there.
Chicago.
No.
See,
I said Illinois like 3 times, Slow-mo. Like,
okay,
please,
okay.
open your ears, okay?
Hey,
Um,
look. Hey, look.
maybe the gray hairs are just growing out of it too far or whatever, but you can't hear anything because because you're old. But anyway, so I said Illinois. Okay, where's Texas? I know where Texas is. Okay, because it's part of the it's part of the A team. Okay, so anyway, exactly,
When you
Spencer.
go to sleep, someone's going to take that shoebox you sleep in and throw it out a window or
As
something
they
like that.
should.
Yeah.
As they should.
Anyway, so
Like put me out of my fucking matter of fact, kill me before I hit 30 so I can forever be 29. You know?
yeah, they'll just
Exactly.
wait some windows.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's
Either
talk
way, nothing will come from the Congress thing. So enjoy.
Pennsylvania? Pff, no clue. Okay, so let's talk about this
This
like
is terrible. Philadelphia. Come on now. You got it. You got it. Look, it's not even that like big a geography kind of thing. Just know where the states are. I know where the states are. I've known this
I
since
mean, if,
third grade.
matter of fact, let's do something fun. Let's pull up a map.
Do it. Let's do it.
A
Let's do it.
blank
Let's
map.
do it. Yes. Let's play a game.
Okay, let's see here.
Wanna
Blank.
play a game.
I actually know where a lot of states are.
All
You know
right.
where our states are? If
On
you
the
know
on
if
the
you know
west coast, on the
more
west
states
coast,
than us
right? On the
Luca does, oh
on
my
the west
god.
coast, right? So you have Oregon at the top, bordering Canada,
All
all the
right.
way
So
to all the way to the west.
let's see here.
There's Alaska. There's California.
Okay. Let's see
There's
here.
Oregon. There's
Okay.
Washington.
Please stop talking so I can okay. One at a time, all right? Okay, so let's see here. How do I do this? Okay, so let me look at this. All right, so California,
Yes.
Nevada?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
That's Nevada.
Idaho?
Huh? Wait, hold on. Point to it again.
Is Idaho a state?
Yes, it's a.
Oh no. Here.
Oh my
Yo,
god!
yes, Idaho is a state.
And yes, that is Idaho.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a state.
Um,
You better get that right. Yes, Texas.
of course. Florida.
Yes.
Is that Louisiana? Is that a state?
Louisiana is a state, and yes, that's Louisiana.
Okay. Illinois.
See, here's the wild thing for me. I think the Midwest is all irrelevant, so I'm kind of like blurry on the Midwest.
Yeah, I know.
You say Illinois and Indiana, I used to always get confused about their positioning.
Okay, this is in
That's Indiana.
This is in Indiana.
Yeah.
This is Wisconsin.
Wait, where are you pointing?
I
Can't see
think
it.
I think this is Wisconsin.
Yes.
Or is this Michigan? Wisconsin.
That's
Michigan?
Wisconsin.
Is what are Michigan and Wisconsin the same or no?
What do you mean the same?
I don't know.
What do you mean? You mean the same as they're like states? Or did you mean they were the same state, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever?
Bro, I don't fucking know. Okay.
I'm bring my daughter in here. I think my daughter knows this entire map. She's 7.
Okay. Oh dear. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Iowa?
Wait. Point to it again.
This right here, Iowa?
Yeah, that's Iowa. Hey, sweetie, come here.
Not you getting your baby to come.
Yeah. Okay. So point to a state, and I'm gonna see if she knows it. Do you know your states? She's in 1st grade. You know your states?
But not all of them.
Okay. All right. So you don't know all of them. Can you hear her?
Hi.
Say hi.
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 Okay. Point to a state. We'll see if she knows it. Okay, you see that one right there? What's that one?
I forgot.
So, well, now you setting your baby up for this. Come on, man.
Arizona?
Say it again.
Yes, it is.
Arizona?
Yes, it is Arizona.
Good job, sweetie.
All right. Okay, good. Go upstairs. Bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
I could do the entire west up to the mid.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh dear. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Is this Washington?
Yes.
Yes, it
Nope.
is.
Yes.
That's Washington. Yes.
Yep.
One of these over here is Colorado, right?
It is. One of them is Colorado.
Point to the one that you think is Colorado.
This one?
No.
This
No.
one?
No.
Nope.
You're getting colder.
Nope.
Colder.
Nope.
Cold. It's
This one?
frigid.
Nope.
This one?
Yes.
Yes.
Ding,
Okay. Which one is this?
That is I think that's Wyoming. I think
It is.
It is okay. All right, that's Wyoming.
Yeah, because Montana's above Wyoming.
All right, Luca.
And
Where's Kansas, Luca?
What the fuck? Where? Kansas? I don't even know where that is.
It's dead center in the map.
Sir, I don't know any of these irrelevant states.
Where
are.
do I live? Where do I live? Where's Maryland?
Maryland?
Yes.
Yeah, sir, I don't know where these irrelevant states are.
How was this nation's capital is here? This is the capital of the entire country.
And
the most powerful city in the world.
Yeah, with the worst traffic. And
It's actually the 3rd worst traffic, but still.
So anyway,
I was gonna point out where was New Mexico.
I was like, I have no idea. Like, if you're not a relevant state, then I don't know. You know, like I don't know. Okay.
New Mexico sandwiched between Arizona and Texas.
Sorry, Amon. So anyway, we just move on from that. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Like,
you
no.
know what's funny though? At the bottom, I legit think Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia ain't no difference between all three of y'all.
Exactly.
Y'all three super racist states where black people, I think, should really not live. If you want to have any kind of like reasonably safe life with laws that are actually not trying to screw you over every chance you get, and police that ain't trying to kill you for like literally nothing, then yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Dennis. It has been a long time because I'm about to be 30 fucking years old. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate it. I don't fucking know. Like I said, if you're not a relevant state, then I don't know. Okay. So anyway,
Oh
we can
man,
move
Jay
on from
said
that.
that Mississippi is the final boss. Yeah, man, Mississippi might be your final resting place too if you go to some of them sundown cities.
All right. Speaking of final resting places, let's talk about this kid who, I said kid. I don't know how old this guy was. This rapper who ended up getting killed because his dumbass couldn't shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
So this guy, BTB Savage, was shot and killed hours after posting a picture standing in the blood of the man he killed 2 months ago, which apparently it wasn't even him who killed her. It was his girl. So
yeah, I mean, like, I got so annoyed watching that interview because he kept calling her like,
yeah, my bitch.
Right. I'm like, she ain't got a name,
Her name is
like.
bitch. Clearly,
her
her pronouns are my bitch.
I mean,
Yes.
I see why she's an ex now. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
fucking.
she's definitely an ex now because he's dead, but still, like, she was an ex when
Exactly.
he did the interview.
All right, I'm gonna play this clip and I will be right back. Hopefully, it doesn't loop.
I ain't gonna lie, I mean, unless they pussies, but ain't no street nigga just about to let, whether regardless of what happened, be like, oh, it is what it is. And they got people that love that nigga. Like, he got real family members too. So they for sure might do what they do. But I'm gonna get active. That's all it is. And it is what it is. It's on the floor. It'll be smoke forever. Fuck it. To be honest.
Right. So you've now moved out of that apartment, right?
Yeah.
Are you moving out of the city? No.
Nah, I'm gonna stay in the city. They're not like that for real. I ain't gonna.
Oh my god.
So the craziest thing, real quick, but the craziest,
Yo.
before I step away, the craziest thing about this is that he just said, like, okay, yeah, they might do something, but then when it's like, okay, so are you leaving? It's like, oh, they're not actually about that. I'm like, brother, what are you even saying?
They ain't like that for real.
To quote one of my favorite,
apparently they were.
to quote one of my favorite memes, fuck around, find out. And he fucked around and found out.
Yeah.
And it is it's unfortunate, but like I've seen multiple of them now, talking all this mad shit. Yeah, I'm really out here, and this like no, there's people really out here doing this. So it's it's what you get for talking all that shit, I guess.
I mean, it's he should have never did the interview in the first place. I do kind of give I got a little smoke for Vlad for like really kind of like if you watch the full interview, like he literally talks in like intimate detail about the attempted robbery and the attempted burglary too, because they entered into his apartment, his place of residence, but like. It was, even though he was saying a lot of stuff that was like kind of had my eyes rolling, at the end he was still pretty much talking from a place of like they came at me, tried to rob me. And again, also this comes to like just kind of like the stupidity of youth. They were trying to rob him and they were looking in his apartment because they were seeing, like, they've been looking at social media and seeing all this stuff that he's bragging about. And about how look at my jewelry, my chains, look at the stuff I got here. They were looking. He said when they came into his apartment, they were looking for all that stuff. And I mean, he kind of. I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead, but it's like you gotta be a little bit more careful, especially when your child is sleeping in your apartment. Who you bring in there? He didn't know them dudes from Adam. And they was just like, they just pulled out a stack of money and was like, yeah, can you do a song with us? You ain't got no studio. They ain't got no studio. Let's just do it in your apartment. And you literally just met them. It's kind of dumb, man. But regardless of that, they go there. He did the only smart thing he did in this entire situation was lock his door when one of them went out. I think he's quote unquote, so he left some equipment outside. I think he left his gun. That was the equipment he left. He locked his door. The dude who died was like, "Why are you locking your door?" He was like, "I don't know them. I ain't going to just like let some people walk in and out of my place." And then that's when basically dude tried to pull the gun on him. His girl did all the shooting. He literally didn't shoot anybody. She did everything, and he still talked about her like she was nothing. And when Vlad was like, and this is the part where I said I gotta get smoked to Vlad, because he knew what he was doing when he said this. He said, well, like the interview's mostly over, and they were both talking about Vlad. Even talked about how he had a potential break-in where he thought he killed the person that broke in, but the dude survived. But it was like it kind of gave him PTSD, and even he was like, "Yeah, I got PTSD too, based off of this." And it's like they kind of like not necessarily bonded, but they kind of like mess with common ground and what they in similar experiences. But then Vlad goes, "Well, the real G here is your girl." I'm like, oh my God. Cause like now his ego can't help himself. He's like, no, I mean she didn't even know how to shoot a gun. She, I had to coach her how to do everything. And dude was a straight bitch and all this other stuff. I'm just like, oh my God, why? That's when he started just being slanderous. It's like his boys left him. They were shooting at the door. My girl shot at the door 2 times. They just left. They just left him there to die. They ain't come back. I was like, oh my God, dude, why are you saying all this?
Thing is, I've noticed with Vlad interviews, he knows how to word things in certain ways to get a reaction. Like when he asks a question, it's a deliberate, like he has worded it in that way.
Yeah, and he tested his ego. And he got exactly the reaction he was looking for.
And that gets Vlad clicks.
Yeah, and that's when he started talking about, like then he tried to switch it up after this dude that said all this stuff about these guys. He don't even know who they are, who still live in the same city as him, probably wants them get back. And then now Vlad's like, well, are you going to move out the city? No, I ain't moving. Ninja, you should probably move. Like, I mean, come on, what are you doing, man?
See, Albert, he never sounds prepared, but he has thoroughly thought about each question, and he words it in such a way where it makes sure that he gets what he wants, which is the reaction, because he asks some seriously dumb questions, but the questions will get a reaction because the ego of the other person is hurt, so they're going to want to respond to the question, and then he gets his content. So.
Then he throws up 2 pictures of himself posing with the dried up blood of this dude all over his apartment. I'm just like, so you basically was just begging for what happened, it seems to me. And it's just like, I'm not saying what did happen to him was justified or anything like that at all. No, like he defended. I mean, like he did fight the guy. He was fighting the guy, which is the reason why his girl was even able to shoot him, because he was like, he was holding them. They were on the ground and everything, but like he defended his home against someone who came in and brought violence and brought potential death to him. But it's the after the fact stuff. Like you should have just let it go. Like they probably, even though they probably still would have been trying to get at him, it wouldn't have been that like, no, we gonna get him right now kind of energy if he just shut up, if he didn't do an interview, if he didn't taunt them in an interview, and he didn't say they were pussy. I mean, I mean, like all of these reasons is why he's no longer here right now. It's just you just kind of wish the youth would be smarter, but natural selection.
Darwinism at its finest.
Yep. Anything you want to say about this, Luca? You there, Luca? Not there, Luca?
I don't think she's there.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyway.
It's.
Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say someone brought up Greg Miller, and I thought that was an excellent troll. Even though people got mad and they didn't think it was a bit about his thing with The Last of Us.
Oh, it's a bit. Like
It is a bit like he trolling.
This is freaking Greg Miller. Of course he's trolling. Like he's not serious. Like this is the same guy that fired, the co-founder of Kind of Funny, or made sure not to get rid of the co-founder of Kind of Funny for a joke on Twitter. So, I mean, come on, like he's not serious. He's not serious.
Really got upset. Like you had the PlayStation, you had two sides of it. You had the PlayStation guys cheer on, going, "Yeah, we don't need PCs, just get a PlayStation," not knowing it's a bit. And then you had the PC guys outraged, not knowing it's a bit.
I don't know why people are talking about this. Who fucking cares? Like, who fucking cares? Honestly speaking, here's why I don't think it's like super funny or whatever.
But mostly, he said, "I don't bathe."
Like, I don't think it's super funny because once again, this is an example of the media. I'm gonna be toxic as fuck, even though it's as a joke or whatever. I'm gonna troll. I'm gonna do the fanboy shit. But nobody has an issue with him doing it. But then it's like these people turn around and say, "Well, fandom is so toxic. The people in this fandom we are so much better than everyone because we're not toxic like these guys." Like, listen, I didn't think it's funny. I don't like shit like that from people in the fucking media. So I'm like, I don't care. That's why I didn't want to talk about it. But thank you for bringing it up as a topic, as I wasn't here. So, anyway, so we can just move on from that. But thank you. I appreciate you, Singer. All right, let's talk about Jonathan Majors. Okay, so here's the thing. Jonathan Majors was arrested last week. We still don't have like the full fucking story about what happened. Now, Slow-Mo has a perspective. I have a perspective. We're going to read these text messages that Jonathan's lawyer released in order to exonerate him. Like, okay, prove like, oh, hey, he didn't do shit or whatever, right? So we're going to read them. So these are from his girlfriend, apparently.
Ex-girlfriend.
Are you assuming that they're his,
like? I mean, look what he said. Goodbye. I mean, I think that's a breakup.
I don't know. Like, we got to know what they were talking about.
Did you leave the keys? Like the keys to my apartment? Goodbye, whatever her name is.
That could be the keys to, like, I don't know, something else, man.
Come on, Luca.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. Yo no say.
Give me back the keys to my ish. Goodbye forever. Ever.
Okay. Forever, ever? All right, so it's like, please let me know. Okay, please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you will not be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me, and they knew we had a fight. I'm so sorry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I just got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you. Okay. So, oh goodness, we're gonna start with that tweet or text or whatever, right? So, text messages confirms that there was actually a fight. Confirms that she was actually injured. So people who were saying like, well, maybe nothing actually happened, maybe she wasn't actually injured. She just said in these text messages that his lawyer released that she was injured, and they had a fight. So that's confirmed there. She says, I told him it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. So, I was like, okay, so what do you think happened when she tried to grab his phone? Like, what do you think she means by that? Like, how do you think she injured? Like, you think she injured herself while trying to grab her phone? Like, what do you think or whatever?
You asking me?
I'm asking both of you.
This could be taken a lot of different ways. This could be she tried to grab his phone.
Keys. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes, and the keys. All right. She could have. I think a lot of people are looking at this like she tried to grab his phone, and he snapped on her, and beat the crap out of her, and she is now covering for him after lawyers got involved, and now also, or that like because other people have seen similar like I guess, language being used by people who are in abusive relationships, in the kind of abusive relationship where the person who is being abused is like, it's like a toxic relationship where they just don't know how to leave that person alone and don't know how to like just leave, period. And they
Mhm.
keep going back. That like that's what this seems like. Um this gonna sound okay. I'm not saying this is
Be
what I don't know
careful.
what happened.
Be
I don't know what
very
happened.
careful about how you phrase this,
Okay,
considering we still
yes.
don't know what fully happened.
That's what I'm about to say. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. But what I do know is there have been a lot of cases where people were absolutely certain that X man was beating the crap out of somebody, and then come to find out later on that's not what happened at all. And people rush to judgment. And then it's like one of those situations where it's like the accusations on the first page, but then the retractions on the sixth page, you know, of the newspaper or whatever, that analogy. What I'm saying is that like we we have seen cases, very public cases already, with people like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, where she went around with makeup on, pretending to be beat up and bruised up. Now we know for certain that like that's not the case here, because she actually went to the hospital and she was injured. But we also don't know if she's not like crazy and injured herself. We don't know that. We don't know anything about really either of these people. Just because Jonathan Majors is a good actor and you see them in a bunch of movies don't mean you know him. He could be a crazy sociopath. We don't know that. We also don't know his girlfriend, who I'm trying my best not to come off this way, but like it's been too many times where black men date white women, and then white women end up getting black men caught up. I'm
Do
just
you I hear what you're saying, but do you
yeah.
think it's
So it's like
possible that your own bias is, like, pushing your thought process more towards that?
I think my own bias makes it more of a possibility in my mind, but I'm also not saying that's exactly what happened, because I don't know what happened. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out a hypothetical, because all of this right now is all hypothetical. We don't
True.
know
All we
what
know is
happened.
that she was injured and they had a fight. Again, the reason
That's
I
it.
go
Yeah.
with that is because his lawyer released this, which means that she would have signed off on what was said, right?
Right.
So, when I first read this,
Also, there's supposed to be video evidence of the incident.
yes, release the fucking tape
They
so I
need to
can know
do
for
that
sure.
ASAP.
They need
They
to do
need
that
they,
a fucking
that
sap.
should have been the first thing they did, was release the video. Unless I don't know, maybe it's like a legal thing, they couldn't release the video evidence. But if you were trying, he's clearly losing endorsements. If you were trying to help him stop losing endorsements, this wasn't the move, because this could be interpreted in ways that you didn't want it to be interpreted, and it absolutely is being interpreted in those ways, and you're not helping him not lose endorsements. So if there's video evidence of the incident that's supposed to exonerate him, why aren't you showing that? They should have been showed that.
Exactly. So, here's my thing. When I first read this, I was just like, okay. So I was like, okay, all right. So again, proving that there was injuries, proving that they had a fight. The only thing that really threw me off was just that line. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I hear what you're saying, this concept of people projecting their own traumas, but at the same time, that language right there is very indicative of what people of domestic abuse have experienced. So I was just like, okay, weird line. So second, I think the second text messages,
Mhm.
let's see here, make it lean towards more like, okay, no, this was a complete misunderstanding. So she said they called to check on me again, and I reiterated how this was not an attack and they do not have my blessing for any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation, and I said point blank that this is not that this did not occur. It should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told about this. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about. I just want you to know I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do was to do with me collapsing and passing out, and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior, out of care. She promised all will be relayed. So for me, that reads more as a, okay, maybe there was just a misunderstanding there, you know?
Yeah. So she passed out. We don't know what she may or may not have been on when she passed out. He was concerned. He called the police. The police show up. I'm assuming based off of what we're seeing here. The police show up. They see her injured. They arrest them, which is supposed to be protocol. Like they're supposed to just automatically arrest the man if it looks like they might be abuse going on here, right? Luca?
Oh, a question? No, yeah, they
Yeah.
said that in wherever the fuck they were when they got arrested, where he got arrested.
Was
He
that New York? I thought it was in
I
New York.
I think it's New York. He said I think the police chief was like, no, this is like normal protocol in these cases here.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, look. They need to release a video, man. That's all I can say. Release the video. It's nothing. This was an L for the lawyer and for Majors. Period. Regardless of how you feel or what you may think may have happened, this didn't prove anything.
yes,
Because-
actually, more people turned against him because of this.
Exactly. So it did the opposite of what they wanted. They should have just never. If you have video evidence of the entire incident, you don't need to have her text messages talking about how she's out here trying to help him make sure he doesn't get arrested because he quote unquote didn't do anything. Especially when it looks like something happened and she's just trying to help him because she's in love with him, and even though he's abusive kind of situation, like people automatically will take, as Lucas said, like I may be taking some of my personal biases into this. There are other people on the other side who are like, this happened to me, and they're like, look, just because you had a personal situation where you were actually abused doesn't mean that you get to apply that in other situations where you don't have the facts. But people are still doing that too. So
I do agree with that sentiment, perhaps, but I would relay it in a very nicer kind of tone, to be honest. 'Cause
Yeah,
you sound,
I don't know how
you
to
sound
do that.
dismiss. I mean, yeah, you do, but you sound dismissive about people. Like, yes, their trauma has translated into them projecting their feelings, but it's domestic abuse, so I can understand. I personally am of the mind that I am still more than willing to wait for more information to come out before condemning
Exactly.
him entirely. But I can
Right.
understand why someone who's experienced abuse would be like, "Oh, I don't know about this," you know?
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. And the thing is this, it's like the difference between I don't know about this and he's an abusive piece of ish is like there's like I'm seeing he's a lot of people say he's an abusive piece of
That's true.
trash, and it's just like, yo, we don't really know what happened, and it's been too much of like that recently where we've seen people being called that and people losing their jobs, losing more than just like losing endorsements, people losing like jail time and all kinds of stuff for something that they never did, because people weren't willing to just be patient and wait for all the information to come out. And so for me, I'm not picking a side. I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying he did. I want to see the video evidence. Then I can make my determination based upon what I actually see.
Yes, and some of the examples would be Justin Roiland, who was fired from Rick and Morty. He's been proved innocent. Or he had the charge dropped, something like that. I don't fucking know. And then Chris
Avalon, yeah.
he won his court case where he was like suing for defamation, essentially, right? So for me, of course I and you know, Pixel in the chat was like, I didn't see this same energy for Dana White. First of all, I don't know who that is. Okay, I didn't know who that was until this week. That's the first thing I want to say. Dana White, whoever the fuck that is, different level than Jonathan Majors. Clearly, because people know who I could say Jonathan Majors. People know who that is. Dana White, not so much, right? Secondly,
well, I would say up to maybe a year ago, people probably knew Dana White Dana White's probably far more popular than Jonathan Majors was. But
if you know about like,
but you don't know sports like that.
like I don't know about sports, man.
Yeah, but like, yeah, he's
But like Jonathan Major's
massively
part of the
popular.
MCU at this point, you know?
Yeah. But there's actual video, there's actual video evidence of what Dana White did. Like I think there's a 5-second clip. His wife was hitting him too, so they're both wrong. They're both in the wrong. But he slapped his wife, but she was like slapping all over him. They're both wrong. Keep your hands to yourself. But yeah, I think I mean I understand what Pixel's saying, because that was like, oh man, Dana White hit his wife, and everybody was like, wow, he hit his wife, and then like they showed the video, and then people were just like, oh, okay.
Again, I really think it comes down to like people in the fucking sporting community and sporting events. Like y'all know who that is, but someone who's not into that stuff doesn't know who that is. Jonathan Majors is a new up and coming actor, part of the MCU, which is like one of the biggest franchises in the world. So for me, I'm just like, okay, that makes more sense that people would be talking about Jonathan Majors like that versus Dana White. Secondly, I would think that these recent cases where people have been proven innocent after being accused of domestic violence or sexual violence, right? I would think that would give some people a little bit more pause before immediately jumping on the bandwagon of this person is automatically guilty. So again, we saw with Chris Avalon, Justin Rowland, and Johnny Depp. So it's just kind of like, okay, for me especially, I'm just like, I'm going to wait for more information to come out before I immediately just write this guy off
Right.
as an abuser, because I don't know. Like, we don't know anything.
Right.
So my fear is one of my concerns is that though they will release the video and it is much worse than we think it will be, because initially when the lawyer was all like, oh, she recanted her statement, she backtracked on what she said, a lot of us, like, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, so I guess like she was just like, no, nothing actually happened. But then the lawyer was using the text messages as this is her recanting her statement. And I'm just like, girl, that doesn't actually help anything, you know?
Yeah.
So I fear that she'll release this video and it's just like, no, this is actually much, much worse than we thought it would
So
be.
it's like he's really him choking her out, and it's just
It's
like,
not funny, dude.
you said this video proved he didn't do this, but he's absolutely doing that in this video. Like, what that? This is why I'm just like, who was his lawyer? Because like she must be really good at like the legal side of things, but not necessarily the social media
The
side
like
of
PR
things.
stuff, yeah.
The PR stuff, like he needs a PR person, and he's a lawyer to just go do some lawyer things. I don't, whatever, but sue people, threaten to sue people. I don't know, but like clearly you need to stop talking to the press. But yeah, look, that video's gotta come out. Like if he's gonna continue to keep losing endorsements, he might even lose the MCU. Like you need to just if he didn't do this, the video will show that he didn't do it. That's the ultimate determinant of what happened. It's video evidence.
Yeah, I just so yeah, I hope they release it soon just so I can know for sure what the fuck's going on. Because again, I'm just because like again, or it could be a case where the video is released and doesn't show fucking anything. It's just like, okay, so what the hell happened? How'd she get those injuries? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Also, like this is a black man. How he get all the look? I understand like rich people and famous people got resources that the regular Joe don't. He's still a black man though. How he get all the charges dropped?
because he's part of the MCU.
They don't care. The police don't care about no MCU. Look, they don't care about that.
Are you sure that
they
police don't care about things involving money?
This ain't the situation like where like the police show up and they're just like, oh my god, this huge black man's beating on this white woman. Oh, you know what? You know who that is? That's King the Conqueror.
Well, maybe
no, they don't care.
That takes away a little bit of your assumption that maybe this is more race related than it is, if like especially since he got his charges dropped so quickly.
Wait, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
I said maybe the fact that he got his charges dropped so quickly takes away a little bit of this concept of this is race related.
I mean, but yeah, potentially, yeah. It's look. I mean, like we said, this could go so many different ways, and it's just we won't know for certain until we actually see some video evidence of what happened. But I do kind of think I kind of agree with you that probably more than likely the video evidence don't show anything either way. It's like the two of them sitting in a car, and nothing happening. It's just
Just
like
chilling in the car,
they're just
just
chilling in the car.
driving down,
They just
making
had an
our way
argument.
downtown.
They just had an argument, and neither one of them are talking to each other, and it's like 2 minutes of nothing. You're just like, why the heck did you say you had video evidence of this? Like, well, there's nothing here. So,
Exactly. So hopefully, we get like some fucking information about this soon, so I can be free to have like a solid opinion on this matter. Because right now, again, I'm just not going to fall into the trap of completely condemning somebody based on allegations with shaky fucking evidence, to be honest. All we know is that, again, there was a fight, she did have some injuries, and he was arrested and charged, and he had his charges dropped. Like, that's it, dude. We don't fucking know anything else. So I think people on socials especially are so quick to jump to this person's an abuser, and like when it turns out the person's not, then folks are still like, do I see anyone taking back what they said? No, they just stay on it, man. They're just like, nah,
no.
I'm gonna be wrong. I'm wrong and proud, and I don't care.
There
So
are still Amber Heard
yeah, there are
defenders,
people.
even to this day, after like it's been proven, like if anyone was the abuser, it was her, and it's like
Mhm.
they still like, no, we're gonna stand by her. It's just like, what is
It's
wrong
just
with you?
it is so weird because like my opinion about the situation changed when those fucking 911 calls came out. I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, that's spooky. She did something,
Yeah, no, yeah, I was like convinced she was. It's always like people like that have a habit. They can't help themselves, and so their prior relationships also exposed them. And when it came out that she had a relationship with this other woman, and the other woman said she was extremely abusive to her, I was like, oh no, 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 no. Like you're not gonna pull this one. Now after you definitely been doing this for a while, and her even admitting it, like in recordings, like come on now. Yeah.
I will say one thing though, in regards to like the race stuff. So Jonathan Majors went to like, where did he go to school?
He went to Yale.
Yale, Juilliard, and NYC.
Yeah.
And so people like these two people who knew him from back then, right? Claim that he was just like some kind of awful monster, right? Here's my
Mhm.
thing. You're telling me a black man from a bad background getting into
Right.
those schools was able to
Right.
get away with being a piece of shit and nothing happened and no one heard
Right.
about it until now?
Yeah, and
I
he
have a
and
hard
he's
time believing that.
and he's made it this far. Come on now. Like, no. Absolutely. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah,
Nah.
like I have a hard time believing that. I'm just like, oh, I don't, I don't know about all that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's get these channel member topics in skedaddle. So Smitty says, when is the Scumcast game night? Okay, so I said this at the beginning of the year. I'm not playing any fucking games this year. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I don't have time. All right,
We're playing Remnant 2, Luca.
Oh yeah, we're playing Remnant 2. When is that
Yeah.
coming out?
Sometime this year. There's no date. I
Okay.
think some games press have got early build of it to play, and they're probably doing preview soon. So it's coming sometime this year, though.
Oh, bet. Say less, man. But yeah, so okay. So yeah, I listen.
And Redfall, we gotta play Redfall.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see with Redfall. But yeah, I'm not playing any games this year. I have my priorities straight. Yes. Do I have a struggling YouTube channel and I barely get any views? Yeah, but I'm gonna keep posting these fucking videos. You know why? Because why the fuck not? You know what I'm saying? So I'll be doing that, and then when I get home, like here's the thing: I wake up. It's okay. I'll give you guys my schedule. I wake up at 5:50. I get dressed. Okay, I wake up. I brush my teeth. I get dressed. I make breakfast. Head off to work. Get to work around 8 a.m. Okay, then I'm at work from 8 to like 5:15 or so because I work out after work. Sometimes I go to the indoor gym that we have. Okay, I go anyway. I go to the gym, and then it takes like an hour to get home. I get home. I take a shower. Okay, then I sit down. I'll either record a video or just lay down, and then I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. And so it's just like, I just don't have time to do shit, all right? Like, okay, I do have time to game, but I choose not to make that a priority, okay? Because my priorities right now are my sleep and my health, all right? Okay? Now, some people in this fucking room refuse to go to bed at a
Oh,
decent
here we
hour
go.
and are
Singer.
up all
Why are
fucking
you
night,
going in on Singer like that?
are up all fucking night, you know what I'm saying, playing goddamn video
I
games.
actually have a reason because the way my hours of my job are.
Okay,
Like,
well, he has an excuse.
I have an excuse.
I
Okay,
work
whatever.
a dodgy shift. You're playing video games.
Exactly.
No. Wednesday
Say
night.
it louder.
Hold on.
Say it fucking louder.
Wednesday night.
One night thinks you can exonerate the fucking several nights of you staying up to play these goddamn
It
games?
threw off my sleep schedule.
Sir?
I have not
What
been able to
sleep
get back.
schedule?
My sleep
You're
schedule. We
12
all
to
have one.
fucking you're 12 to 5 your 12 to 5 sleep schedule?
I had to work late
Your 1
Wednesday
a.m.
night.
to 5 a.m. sleep
I was
schedule?
up until 4 in the morning. It messed me up. I slept all Thursday during the day. Slept all day. And it's been hard, okay? It's been hard to get it back. I'm trying.
Okay. So anyway, guys, I really want to talk about this real quick. Your health should be a priority in your life. I understand that a lot of you guys, you're married or you're in long-term relationships, you got kids, you got full-time jobs. You don't got a lot of time to yourself, fellas. I get it. And that time you have to yourself, you want to play your games, you want to relax, you want to chill with the boys, or you just want to play your single player games and enjoy yourself. Have that hour or two to yourself. I understand, my boys. I get it. But listen, especially as we are all getting older, you need to start putting the priority on your health. So that's working out, eating healthier, and trying to get enough sleep. Sleep is the biggest factor, boys. Sleep is the biggest factor and has such a huge effect on your health. And it is the main thing that people don't get enough of, you know? So
That is very, very true.
I just want you
Fortunately,
guys to take care of yourselves. So I want you guys to be here for a long time, you know? So
yeah.
anyway.
Fortunately, I sleep like a baby. Like, I can easily clock 8 hours. Easy. No problem. I could probably do more.
Yeah, sleep past 6.
Like, I just go, boom. Soon as I go to sleep, I am asleep. Like, they
Well, I
could
mean,
be,
I can go to sleep quickly. I just can't sleep past 6 hours. Like
I
more
could
like
go. I could go clear
5.
past 6. I
That's
could go
because
clear
your
past.
body is used to you neglecting
Oh
and
my
abusing it.
God.
Okay, but anyway, you're huffing and puffing. I'm telling you, we're gonna circle back to this conversation in a few years. You're gonna be like, damn, that bitch Luca was correcto mundo. Okay,
I would
correcto
never
fucking
call you that.
mundo.
I would
Okay,
never call you that.
that bitch Luca. Okay,
I
so
would never
anyway,
do that.
Phil asks, is there any absolutely bugged out game that everyone else had issues with, but you didn't encounter a single issue? Yeah, Fallout 4. I don't have any issues with Fallout 4, man. I played that game when it came out.
Yeah, I had one. I just can't remember what it was. It was what game was it? Everybody was come back to me. Singer, you got one?
For what?
A game that was super buggy for everyone else, but you didn't encounter any bugs.
Oh, do I have a game for you?
Oh, Cyberpunk. I remember that.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, sir.
Oh man. I can't, you know what? I know there's one, I just can't think of it right now. Cause like even the games that are somewhat solid, I still encounter a bug or two. But I usually, if it's a buggy game, like I see it all.
Yeah. Also,
snap. No. Outriders.
You didn't have any didn't you play with us?
Yeah. I mean with the co-op stuff, but there were people who like couldn't even log in, had all their inventory wiped out, couldn't log in for over a month, you couldn't even do the single player stuff. I was fine with all that.
Okay, shout out to Jay Bari, who's been a scum lord for 24 months, saying hit the like button, and Big Daddy saying, hey, Luca and crew, who's been a member for 9 months. Appreciate you, my boys. Yeah, let's see here. So, yeah, all right. And then, yep, okay. So, thank you guys so much. Wow, what a show. What a show. It's been a day. All right, it's time for me to get the fuck up out of here. I gotta go, guys. I gotta fucking go. But yeah, please, boys, I just wish that people took into account their health more. And like the thing I gotta do, man, listen, food is just a little bit too delicioso. And since I know like what my calorie intake is supposed to be, perhaps I'm playing a little bit fast and loose with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a little bit too much. So I got to get that shit together myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, yeah. So shout out to, if this page ever fucking loads. If this page ever wants to fucking load, if it wants to finish loading, okay, I guess not. Damon, Dr. Eldon, Tyrell, Tevin, H Dog, Derek, Stankmaw, my boy, King Metrotron, Lionel, JB, Meat Puppet, Scrotum, Phil, Alex, DQ, John the Don, Smoke, Strinza, Stardust, Outlaw, Risk It, Stone, Dexflex, Starbuck, Drav, Kenny, DC, Texas, Shogun, Mike, It's Me Baby, Big Daddy, Smitty, Larry, Iman, Plus on the Block Podcast, El Huayto, Sub Negros or X-Man, Yobi, MJ Jazzy, Erodimus, and Bandies, Dom, Strictly, Sir Duck, Sycamore, Zion, Danelle, Brisky, Corey, Light, Strife, J Barry, RK Pepitio, Nautical Jet, Brandon, Envy, Jarrell, Slomo, and Hannibal for being members of the channel. Appreciate you boys. Yeah. No, I mean, truly, it's not overrated. I promise you that. I feel like if you were to get consistent, a consistent 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night for like 6 months, it would improve your life dramatically. I promise you that. I just think a lot of it is that, again, I really think it comes down to this. You guys, you are dedicated men. You're busy. You have priorities. You have responsibilities. And I have nothing but immense respect for you guys, which is why it's like, I would like for you guys to take your health into account and take care of yourself so you can be here for a long time, not only to hang out with me, but more importantly, for your family, for your wife, for your, anyone who may be gay, for their husband or boyfriend, for your children, you know what I'm saying? For your families. So I don't know. Even if it's just one person who's like, you know what? Because Luca's about to be 30 years old, maybe I'll take her advice into consideration. Because, she's about to be a mentor. She's mentor age. You know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway, I will catch you guys for another one. Singer?
Yeah. Great show. Shout out to everyone coming through, and I'll see you later.
Slow.
Yo, fun show as usual. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Go get some sleep, play some games. I don't know, do something. Take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend.
All right, peace, my boys. I do want to give an example though. I had to not work. I didn't end. I know I didn't end.
No, but you just said peace and then went to an example. What
okay, and the more you talk, the more I spend time.
I don't understand what's happening.
Okay, I'm not leaving.
Okay.
Can I do my example?
Why? Or is there example? Okay, go ahead.
Why are you questioning me when I could have just had this example done?
Just say it.
Exactly.
Just say it.
Okay, so I couldn't use weights for a week, right? Mm-hmm. So the first day I did, my dumbass decided to go crazy.
Well, why couldn't you use weights for a week?
Because of things I'm not going to discuss in public. So
my bad. All right, go ahead.
No, you're good, man. But I couldn't use weights for a week. So when I did finally get the chance to use my weights, I went a little bit too hard. And when I say, listen, I almost threw up, guys. But that's part of the process because I was feeling pretty good working out with those weights right before I started to puke. You know what I'm saying? But it's worth it. And it feels good. And I did weights 4 times this fucking week. Okay.
You throw up.
Yes.
That's weakness leaving your system.
Exactly. So anyway, good luck, Iman. All right. Peace, boys.